It was early springtime and the strike was on. It drove us miners out of doors, out from the houses that the company owned. We moved into tents up at old Ludlow.
Workers definitely would not have any workers' rights whatsoever. In today's world, in 2017, if you're an American worker, you have a lot more rights. For example, if I get hurt when I'm at work, my employer will pay for me to go to the doctor to find out what the injury is. I can also go to the hospital if the need comes up because of the injury that I sustained while I was at work. During the Ludlow era, if you were hurt at work, you would have no benefits such as that. If you had to quit your job because of a workers' related injury, you were done. There was no compensation, there was no pension that would pay you a little bit of money every month if you were hurt at work. If you had a job that also included housing for workers, such as if you were the miners at Ludlow or in any of CF&I's mining towns, and if you lost your job, you also lost your house because the house was tied to the job. Of course, today, 100 years later, things have greatly improved for workers. Another benefit that workers in 2017 have that was unheard of in 1913 was today most workers work an 8-hour workday with no forced overtime without compensation. So what that means is in 2017, if I work more than 8 hours in a day, my employer either has to give me more money for those extra hours I work or time off. Well, the miners, especially that worked for CF&I, they definitely took a stand in having a say in their working conditions. In September of 1913, they had had enough of the way that they were treated at work. And they got together and they said, we really need to see some changes in our working conditions. And so they took a stand with the CF&I management to make changes to their working conditions. Other types of jobs in other professions saw what the miners were up to, and they also made a lot of changes to their working conditions in other types of professions following the strike. In the very beginnings of the company, up until the time that the strike happened, as I mentioned before, the workers had very few rights, if any. They were forced to live in company-owned housing. The working hours were incredible. Like I said, they worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. The pay that they got was better than in some mining communities in the eastern part of the country, but it still was not a great deal of money. There was absolutely no safety conditions whatsoever in the mines. They were absolutely horrible. The miners were not paid for doing the extra work in the mines. In addition to mining the coal, they were not paid to put up timbers, to lay new track in the mines. All of those things had to be done to make the job safer in order to mine out the coal. So they were not paid to do any of that extra work. Miners also, especially in CF&I's mining camps, they were paid not in regular United States money, but they were paid in what is called scrip. And scrip is not United States currency. It's company issued credit. And the problem with the credit is you could only spend it in the company owned store that was in the town. And the store keeper was not a miner himself, he was a company official. So he could very easily overinflate the price of the goods in the store, and then the miner was basically just working to pay off his debt to the store. He would never get ahead. So that was another problem that the miners had, is that they wanted to be paid in regular United States money, not in scrip. They also wanted to hire their own check weighman. And this is the person who weighed the coal. Unfortunately, the group that maintains that site is the United Mine Workers of America. And it always takes time to raise money to put up a sign that says that this site is a national landmark. So that probably is the reason why there's no documentation that says that it is a national landmark, but believe me, it is.
Cool.
We took some cement and walled a cave up where you killed these 13 children inside. I said, God bless the Mine Workers Union. Then I hung my head and cried.